We stand surrounded. We are not alone. Within my reverie, there's holy light. Without a number, we stand and fight. And Lord, ignite. The world is cold. We stand surrounded. We are not alone. Within my reverie, there's holy light. Without a number, we stand and fight. We are not alone. We are not alone.
Welcome back to Immortal Shadows, where we are going to continue our study in the book of Revelation. And tonight we are going to start into the vision part of the book and kick it off with chapter 4, where we're going to be exploring the throne room visions. Hey, Ace, welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here. And like always on Thursday nights when we do Immortal Shadows, Emma will be coming up and singing. And since we didn't get to finish it Tuesday night, we will have your Thanksgiving recipes with Bernadette Beth after the teaching part at the end of the show. So you're definitely going to want to stick around with that. And Bethany herself should hopefully be coming up here in just a little while. And Dustin is in the chat. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Big Ben. Thank y'all for popping in. Hey, PW. Oh, PW, we got something special for you tonight. Emma is going to be singing one of her songs in Spanish, and she'll let you know which one that is.
And if my pronunciation is wrong, correct me.
So,
But I think I got it, though.
Yeah, she's been working on one. So that is what we have lined up for tonight. We got some other streams coming up this weekend as well. So keep your eye out for what we've got going on the PPR channel. We're going to have a Saturday stream where we're going to have Elite Vixen Paranormal here and talking about their upcoming event in December, fundraiser and investigation at the Thomas House. Which we will be there supporting them and doing that. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a really good time. So there's going to be some tickets left, and we'll be talking about that on Saturday. Just also a reminder to everyone, I still have the giveaways going on with Johnny Walker Ranger Demon Slayer Volume 2. So if you buy a copy of Johnny, whether the ebook version or paperback, and you review it and you send me proof of your review and your purchase, I will send you ebook copies of everything I have written. So you do that, and you get all of my completed works. So that is a killer deal that I have going on now through the end of the year. And for those of you who missed this month's Southern Discomfort, it is on Godless for 99 cents. Beware of Monster. It is a creep show style story about a New Orleans urban legend that I grew up with here in Louisiana called the Grunch Road Monster. So this has a creep show voodoo vibe to it. On Friday night, Dustin is going to be spearheading Haunted and, not Friday night, but Friday during the day. He's going to have Haunted and Beyond. So keep an eye out for that as well, 11 a.m. Eastern time. So we got a lot of stuff coming up for y'all on the channel. for you to watch and to give you some cool information and keep you entertained. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you will get the notification when we go live, because we are definitely really getting into it here on the channel, and just going to be putting out a lot of content for you from this point on. Let me hop back in the chat here, see if I missed anybody. All right, we still got our crew in here. Oh, you're welcome, PW. Absolutely. PW on her Instagram page, she did a little snippet about the Church of Satan. So head on over to her if you have an Instagram account, Lady Rose. She does a lot of stuff on religions, cults, mythology, history, a bunch of different stuff. So go over there and check her page out. Hey, Jorge, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us for a little bit tonight. So one of the things I'm thinking about doing next week on Southern Discomfort, that'll be the only show I will be doing that week, since Thursday is Thanksgiving. I am looking at putting together, because I know a lot of y'all have liked the movie reviews and stuff that we've done here lately. So I'm going to be possibly for Tuesday night putting together a list of my favorite Christmas horror movies, because usually Thanksgiving break is kind of the time. I mean, I know that there are people out there that put their Christmas tree up on Halloween and totally bypass Thanksgiving. That's way too early for me. But usually most people around Thanksgiving start to get in that Christmas spirit. So I'm going to make a big list of Christmas horror movies that you can start watching during the Thanksgiving break and all throughout the month of December. Some of them you will have heard of. Some of them you might not have heard of. So that's kind of the goal, to get some movies out there that you may not have seen that are still definitely worth the watch. Thank you, PW. I appreciate you telling me you like the review. Yes, the Satanic Temple. That's it. PW's article is about the Satanic Temple. Thank you for correcting me on that. So go over, if you have Instagram, on her Lady Rose account, and check out all of her cool stuff. Give her a follow. Give her a like on some of her articles. So for those of you just popping in, Immortal Shadows is our Thursday night show, and it's really more of an in-depth teaching time, and we got some music, and we also like to, if you've ever even just watched one show on this channel, you know that we don't just like to be serious. We like to cut up and have a good time, and tonight's show is going to be a perfect example of that. So Emma's going to come up here in just a minute and sing. We're going to do our teaching time. And then Bernadette Beth is going to come on and give you her Thanksgiving recipes. And hopefully Bethany will be up by then to be a part of that. So without further ado, I am going to let Emma come up here and get things started. Hey, bud, thanks for popping by and hopping in the chat. We appreciate it. All right, Emma.
Let's get into it. Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me
last he has ransomed me. His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Oh, I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. 'Cause I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Okay. Then this one is a classic. Little hymn for y'all. Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy path throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, when Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and lead me home, for joy shall fill my heart. Then I shall bow in humble adoration, and then proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art. Okay. I'm kind of nervous to sing this. I don't want to say it wrong. It'll be okay.
Tell PW it's this Spanish.
Oh yes, this is the Spanish one. Yahweh, Rapha, Elohim, Shaddai, Adonai, se manifestará. Yahweh, Rapha, Elohim, Shaddai, Adonai, se manifestará. Se siente tu gloria en este lugar. Algo grande va a pasar. Se activó lo subnatural. Se siente tu gloria en este lugar. Algo grande va a pasar. Se activó lo subnatural. manifestará. Rafa se manifestará, se manifestará. Yahweh se manifestará. Jireh se manifestará. Rafa se manifestará, se manifestará. Yahweh se manifestará. Jireh se manifestará. Rafa se manifestará, se manifestará. Yahweh, Rafa, Elohim, Shaddai, Adonai, se manifestará. Yahweh, Rafa, Elohim, Shaddai, Adonai, se manifestará.
All right.
Okay. Ooh, airdrop those to me real quick.
Now give me a minute. All right. Thank you, Emma. So
Whoops.
I hope y'all enjoyed that with Emma singing. Yeah, it was a song in Spanish, the Spanish praise
but
song.
in English, it's talking about Yahweh will manifest himself and how, like, when you praise him, his glory and his presence is tangible in this place. And I really love the meaning behind that.
Yep. So thank you, Emma.
Gloria en este.
All right, y'all. We are going to go ahead and get into our teaching part for tonight in the book of Revelation. We're going to be in chapter 4. Now, chapter 4 starts the whole vision part of the rest of this apocalyptic book. And everything in this book starts with the throne room vision, and then it kind of goes out from there. So this is kind of the starting point of after John has his vision of Christ, after he's given the letter to the 7 churches, then he has this throne room vision. And so for the next couple weeks in chapter 4 and in chapter 5, this is what we are going to be looking at. Now, what you're going to notice here, and I've got the passages, and I'm going to be able to put them up on the screen here, and I want you to see this before we actually read the text in Revelation. But John draws from 3 different vision passages from the Old Testament. The first one is out of the book of Ezekiel. And this is probably going to be a vision that some of you are familiar with. We talked a little bit about this vision when we were going through Enoch. And when we get into Revelation 4, you're going to notice some similarities with Enoch, and I'm going to point that out as well. I hope y'all can read that here. This is from the English Standard Version. And what we have here is Ezekiel looks, and he beholds out of the north a great cloud with brightness around it. And there's flashing continually. And in the midst of the fire, as if it were gleaming metal. And in the midst of it came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had a human likeness, but each had 4 faces, and each of them had 4 wings. Their legs were straight, and the soles of their feet were like the soles of a calf foot, and they sparkled like burnished bronze. Under their wings, on their 4 sides, they had human hands, and the 4 had their faces and their wings thus, and their wings touched one another. Each one of them went straight forward without turning as they went. As for the likeness of their faces, each had a human face. The 4 had the face of a lion on the right side. The 4 had the face of an ox on the left side. The 4 had the face of an eagle. Such were their faces, and their wings were spread out above. Each creature had 2 wings, each of which touched the wing of another, while 2 covered their bodies. Each went straight forward. Where their spirit would go, they went without turning as they went. As for the likeness of the living creature, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, like the appearance of torches moving to and fro the living creature. And it continues. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning, and the living creatures darted to and fro, like the appearance of a flash of lightning. Then Ezekiel goes on, and he talks a little bit more about these creatures. And then if you look down there in the last paragraph on this slide, he says, over the heads of the creatures, there was a likeness of an expanse, shining, awe-inspiring, crystals spread out above their heads. And under their wings, stretched out towards one another. Each creature had, we're going to go to the next slide, 2 wings covering its body. And when they went, I heard the sound of their wings like the sound of many waters. And then he goes on the next paragraph, and above the expanse over their heads, there was the likeness of a throne, in appearance like sapphire, and seated above the likeness of a throne was a likeness with a human appearance, and upward what had the appearance of his waist. I saw it as was gleaming metal, like the appearance of fire enclosed all around, and downward from what had the appearance of his waist, I saw it was the appearance of fire, and there was brightness around him. So this is Ezekiel's vision, and you're going to notice some similarities here. A lot of commentators will try to say that Ezekiel is the main influence on John, but what we're going to see when we look at the Greek text is it's really, when we compare the Greek text of Revelation to the Greek version of Daniel, we're going to see that John mainly draws from this passage here out of Daniel 7, where Daniel has this vision of the Ancient of Days, and he says, and I looked, and thrones were placed, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was as white as snow, and his hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was fiery flames, its wheels burning fire. A stream of fire issued and came out before him. Thousands of thousands served him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court sat in judgment, and the books were open. The last one John draws from is Isaiah 6. All right, so Ezekiel's passage is talking about what is called the cherubim. Isaiah's passage is talking about the seraphim. And Isaiah says here that in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above him stood the seraphim. Each had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, and with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. And one called to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is filled with his glory. I see Bethany's here with us real quick. I'm going to pause and pull her up. Hey, Boo Bear.
Hey.
I just gave you a chance to say hello to everybody.
Carry on. I'm listening.
I'm trying to get it back to Scylla. There we go. So these three passages highly influence John's vision in the book of Revelation. So keep that in mind of what we just saw, the cherubim and that expanse above the throne, the seraphim. The seraphim, the Hebrew gives the idea they're like these burning serpent-like angels. And then you have the vision of the throne from Daniel chapter 7. So here we go. I'm going to pull up Revelation chapter 4. It's only 11 verses, so it shouldn't take us too long to cover this. And John writes here, this is right after the letters to the 7 churches ended. John says, "After this, I looked, and behold, a door standing open in heaven. And the first voice, which I had heard speaking to me like a trumpet, said, 'Come up here, and I will show you what must take place after this.' At once I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne stood in heaven, with one seated on the throne. And he who sat there had the appearance of jasper and carnelian. And around the throne was a rainbow that had the appearance of an emerald." We're going to stop right there. So let's talk about this just for a second. And I have some slides that I want to show you that kind of depict this imagery. But as I mentioned, I'm not going to go into all the Greek detail about how this matches up with Daniel chapter 7. But there are like 14 or 15 different phrases that when we go through Revelation 4 and Revelation 5 in the Greek that match up with Daniel. So Daniel is definitely John's influence, following that with Ezekiel and Isaiah. So what is happening here is when it says here, he says that after these things, okay, some commentators, you've heard me talk about as we're going through the book of Revelation, that you have certain commentators that try to read that theology of the rapture into this, where the Christians are going to be taken off the earth and everybody is going to be left behind. And you've heard me talk about how that is nowhere found in the book of Revelation at all, much less in other passages of scriptures when we can consider the context and things that are being said. So when he says after these things here, this is not a chronology of events. It is a chronology of the sequence of the visions. So he's saying, after I had this given to me by the churches, after these things, then I saw this. This is not a chronological order of how things are going to play out, because what happens is futuristic commentators will take this and to say that after these things, that John looks and he beholds and there's a door standing open in heaven, and the voice calls to him and tells him to come up here, and John is taken up to heaven. They will say, well, that's kind of symbolic of the rapture. And so they'll read things into the text that aren't there. Rather, what we have going on here is something that is very similar to other apocalyptic visions, especially when we look in Second Temple Judaism with the book of Enoch, right? You know how Enoch was taken by angels and taken to different places and shown visions. So this is the same thing that's happening to John, just in a more intense manner. He's being taken up into heaven. He's not having an angel guide him. And this open door that is in heaven stands for something that is going to be revealed, the revelation, the unveiling. It's open. And so John is actually stepping into another dimension, a higher dimension at this point, and is being given revelation of what is happening in his day, and giving these visions for how things are going on the earth and how things are going to continue on the earth. And the whole thrust of the book of Revelation is that John is giving these visions to show that God is in control, that the suffering that Christians undergo is not purposeless, and that God is going to do away with evil in the end. And so it's only fitting that the entire vision sequences start with a throne room vision to show God seated and exalted and ruling in heaven, and that rule extends down to the earth. And he begins to describe what he sees and hears, right? He hears that trumpet, that voice of a trumpet speaking to him. This takes us back to chapter 1, where that's what John hears, the voice of a trumpet. And he turns around to see what is behind him. So he's hearing this voice, and that voice tells him to come up here. Then he's caught up in the spirit. This is language that is very similar to Ezekiel's vision when he talks about in the vision we just read. There's other parts of it where it talks about how the spirit took him, and then the spirit takes Ezekiel to different places and shows him different things. So this is very similar prophetic, apocalyptic, visionary language that John is relaying to us. And so he comes up and he's being shown what must take place after these things, right? After the vision, this is the next vision. And he's in the spirit, and he sees a throne standing in heaven, one sitting on the throne. And he describes the one as a jasper stone and sardius in appearance, and a rainbow around the throne like an emerald in appearance. So if you're like me and you're reading this and you're saying, well, what do these stones look like? Because John is taking things that are familiar to his audience to try to describe the likeness and the glory of God. So what does a sardius stone look like? What does a jasper stone look like? A lot of us are familiar with an emerald in appearance, but stones here in the book of Revelation play a big role, because you have these stones being described in the appearance of God, and you're also going to have all of these precious stones when we get to the last chapter that are being described in the New Jerusalem. So I've got this for you right here. These are the stones that were found in the ephod of the priest, and that are also found in the New Jerusalem. And the three we want to focus on right now is the jasper up there in the top left corner, and the emerald next to it, and then the sardius down there at the bottom. So when John says the appearance of the Lord to him is like jasper and sardius stone, this is the coloration he is describing. This is similar to Ezekiel talking about this glowing metal and fire. All right. God's appearance is this reddish orange fire representing his holiness and his power. And so imagine here, this is what you are seeing: a being seated on this throne, massive, immense, holy. This is his appearance. This is the way his glory, this is the color that is radiating off of his being. So when we read that vision, we want to know the color of the likeness of God that John saw. It was this mixture of jasper and sardius. And then he says that there was a rainbow around the throne like an emerald. I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely love rainbows and seeing them in creation. I think they're just extremely beautiful. And rainbows, obviously, in the scripture have that promise. They're very prominent and significant there. This takes us back to the book of Genesis, where God uses the symbol of the rainbow to talk about his promise of mercy and no more judgment, with water on the face of the earth, in those earlier mythology chapters of the book of Genesis. So here John sees a rainbow around the throne, circling it, and it's emerald. It's a rainbow, but yet it's got this greenish light emanating from it. And the idea there is that God's throne is a throne of mercy and a throne of grace, that he rules with grace. He rules with mercy. And we're going to see that unfold, and how it gets into chapter 5 when the lamb is the lion is introduced next, when we get into chapter 5. But I went online and I found some really cool pictures of rainbows, just to kind of give you a visual of what it's like around God's throne. Now imagine these beautiful rainbows, but yet they have this kind of green aura about them, this green light radiating from them. So this is one here. Here's another one. And this next one that I'm going to show you, this one is really, really cool because it is actually in a circular pattern. So you can really get a good idea of what a circular rainbow would look like around the throne of God. Check this out. That's cool, right? So now imagine that rock there in the center could be like the bottom of the throne of God, and it's going upward, and there around it is a rainbow. This is probably as close as similar to what I could find that John probably saw in the way that he saw it, with that circular type of rainbow there around God's throne. So next, we're going to get into the rest of this vision. Let me scroll back up so that I can put the text on the screen for you. Whoops. That was it. Okay, there we go. So then the throne he sees standing in heaven, one sitting on it. We talked about his appearance. And then he says, around the throne, there were 24 thrones, and up on the thrones I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white garments, and golden crowns on their heads. Out of the throne came flashes and lightning and sounds and peals of thunder. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. And we'll stop there just for a second. Let me take this off. So let's talk about this next vision. Now, it says that he sees 24 thrones, and he sees these elders with crowns, and there's peals of thunder and lightning flashes. Right? This peals of thunder and lightning. This takes us back to Mount Sinai with Moses, when the law was given, and Moses's vision of the glory of God in the throne room of God. And so it's creating that same type of atmosphere for us. Now, interesting enough, there is a debate among scholars about what these elders represent and why there's a number 24. So I'm going to, without going into all the different interpretations, I'm going to tell you what I think is the best understanding of this. So there are a lot of scholars who believe that the number 24 is drawn from the different types of people in that were anointed and given service around the Jewish temple in the days of David, and when the Levitical law was given. You had groups of 24 and 24 priests that were responsible for different things in the temple. And since this throne room vision is in the heavenly temple, I definitely think that that is the idea behind here. And the number 24, a lot of them think is drawn from that, but they think it also represents the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 New Testament apostles, which therefore the elders here in this passage are symbolic for all of the people of God throughout the ages. And what's interesting here, there's been new studies that have come out, and you've heard me talk about this before, especially when we were in Enoch, and especially when we did on Southern Discomfort, our series a while back on different supernatural beings of the Bible. I talked with you about this concept of the divine council and the sons of God, and how the sons of God, the ruling angels, right, they had authority over the nations. And we talked about how some of these sons of God rebelled. And we looked at passages in Daniel. We talked about how Satan was possibly one of those sons of God as well. So you always wonder, well, what happened to the divine council? In the book of Revelation shows us what the new divine council looks like now because of the death and resurrection of Christ. There are passages in the New Testament that talk about Christians being co-heirs with Christ, that talk about ruling over the nations. Especially we saw this in the book of Revelation, how those who overcome, they will rule with Christ. They will rule with him with an iron scepter. And you also have passages that talk about we will be co-heirs with Christ. And so the imagery here in the idea is that the divine council, God never did away with it. Instead, he's replacing the angels that rebelled with us, with his people. So the 24 elders represent the divine council that will be made up of all of God's people throughout the ages. Christ has made it now where believers can be that new divine council. So this is a new aspect that commentators are starting to bring in this part of the book of Revelation that just makes this imagery even more powerful. And it also talks about the seven spirits of God, this burning fire before the throne. We looked in earlier passage in Revelation where the church was represented by seven burning lampstands. Here, the imagery is shifted a little bit. It's not lampstands that are being focused on, but it's actually the Greek word here is different than the one earlier that is lampstand. The Greek word here gives the idea of torches. So there are these torches around the throne that represent the Holy Spirit or the Spirit of God. And so what's going to happen is we're going to see this when we get into chapter 5, we're going to see this Trinitarian vision. You're going to have God the Father on the throne. You're going to have the seven spirits of God, the Holy Spirit around the throne. And then you're going to have the lion lamb figure, the Messiah, Christ, that is going to be next, seated next to God, the Father on the throne. So we get a Trinitarian picture here of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Three persons, fully God, yet three distinct personalities. One of the most mind-boggling doctrines that I think of the Christian faith. Let me pull up another slide here. Let's look at this one. So he talks about the elders and the Spirit of God, and he says next that there is a sea of glass like crystal, and then in the center of the throne, 4 living creatures full of eyes in front and behind. So before we get into the living creatures, I want to take, because we're almost done here, I want to take a minute and talk about this sea. We saw it in the earlier visions from the Old Testament, and here we have this sea around the throne of God. And there are 2 main interpretations of this, and both of these interpretations are very good. And so I'm not sure which one is correct, but I'll tell you which one I think I might kind of lean towards. So the sea around God's throne, if we're taking this as a throne room temple vision, in the temple, there was a sea, there was a basin there, where they had to wash and get ceremonially clean. So a lot of scholars think that this is just the heavenly counterpart there, representing the cleanliness that God provides in order to approach Him, and the need to be clean to approach God. There are other commentators, however, that see more of ancient mythology in this. In the Old Testament, the sea was the place of evil, the place of chaos. And you have, going back to Genesis 1, right, the Spirit of God hovering over the chaotic waters. And it's a whole other thing that we can maybe get into one day, about how Genesis 1 is not necessarily talking about material creation, but more of this idea of order into chaos. But what we have happening here is, right, God starts to speak and He brings order. He starts naming and separating things from the chaotic mass that His Spirit is hovering over. We've talked about the serpent in the garden being the chaos creature. There are also other chaos creatures throughout the Old Testament, these mythical beings. Leviathan is one of them. He was the chaos creature of the sea. And in Job, God is towards the end of everything that happens with Job, God is revealing Himself, and He's talking about how He is the one who puts a hook in Leviathan's mouth and tames him. And the idea there is that God has power over evil and chaos. And so commentators look at this and they say, well, what this represents, the sea represents the mass of evil in the world, and that God rules over it. And that as Revelation goes on, what we see is, though God allows evil to continue right now, He is still working. And in the end, He is going to do away with it, which is why when we get to the later vision of the New Jerusalem, we are told there is no more sea. And the reason we're told there is no more sea is because sea represents chaos and evil, and all of that is done away with. You'll see in the book of Revelation, you have beasts rising from the sea. Same thing from the book of Daniel. The beasts are rising from the sea. This is the place of evil and chaos. So I kind of lean towards it, the sea being a symbol of evil and chaos, but both interpretations are really, really strong. So it's hard to say which one is correct, but I lean towards that one of chaos. So God is ruling over the chaos, and the rest of the book is going to unfold how He does that, and how He brings good out of evil, and how He judges the wicked, but yet redeems and preserves the righteous. So we get to the creatures next, the living creatures. And we see here they are a combination of Ezekiel and Isaiah. They have full of eyes, front and behind. We have the creature, one of them, he says, the first is like a lion, the second like a calf, and the third has a face like that of a man, and the fourth was like a flying eagle. And the four living creatures, each one of them having 6 wings, full of eyes around, within day and night, they do not cease to cry out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and who is to come." And then we see that when these living beings cry out, everyone in heaven bows down before the throne, and then the elders cry out how God is worthy to receive glory and honor because of His power, and how He creates and sustains all things. Now, one of the things here about these living creatures and them being a conglomeration of everything that has come before. a lot of scholars say that the living creatures in this passage do not exist like this, that it's symbolic, right? Just like the elders. And the reason they say that is because of the mixture of elements, right? They're not denying that cherubim don't exist. They're not denying that seraphim don't exist. They're just saying that in this particular passage, because of the combination of things, that it is all symbolic, which is what most of these visions are. Everything is symbolism to relay a truth. So scholars believe that these living creatures represent the totality of the created order, that all of creation is meant to worship and serve God, and these living beings are a representation of that. And a lot of times there's double symbolism in the book of Revelation. So not only do these living beings represent creation, but we can also see, because of their association with the throne, that they also represent God. In Ezekiel, right, you had the hands all over, and then Ezekiel's throne room vision is God basically riding down on the cherubim on a war chariot, and those wheels underneath with eyes spinning around underneath the cherubim. Those are like the wheels of the chariot, and he's coming down in the storm cloud, ready to bring judgment on Israel, and because he's given them years and years and years to repent of their idolatry, and they never do. So he has to discipline them in order to wake them up and bring them back to himself. And so what we have here with these living creatures, they have eyes all over their body, and what it represents is the complete omniscience of God and the comfort in that, right? Because everything in this has a pastoral application. It's not just a vision for a vision's sake, right? God is over the evil. He is going to do away with it. And the eyes represent his full omniscience, that I see what is going on. I see the evil, I see the wickedness, and the day is coming. And let me tell you how things are going to go down to usher that day along. So God sees. He sees all things. He sees our struggles. He sees the injustice done to us. He sees our hurt. He sees our pain. Nothing escapes him. And this is what is meant by this eye. It's meant to give us comfort, to say God sees, he knows, and he is active. He is going to do something. And this is the point of the book of Revelation, that God is doing something, and he's bringing creation to its intended end. So that is the throne room vision. We're going to go ahead and stop and shift gears a little bit here. I'm going to hop into the chat and bring Boo Boo Bear back up. Hey, Blondie.
Hey.
All right, I'm going through to see if anybody has any questions. Just go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm going to say hey to all the people that I missed. Let's see, we've got Space Miner, Triple X Lady. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it. So, did you have anything, Bethany? Any questions, comments?
No.
Okay.
Sadly, I missed a good half of it, and then you were cutting in and out.
I'm sorry. I'll give it another minute and okay. See, Space Miner says no questions. I'll give it another minute, and then we are going to switch gears here. And Bethany, I can't tell you how glad I am that you made it up here tonight. Do you want to know why?
No, aren't you supposed to be making finger puppets or whatnot for other people so you can torture them and bore them with it?
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Why not? Why not?
Because we're going to continue where
No,
we
we're not.
ended Tuesday.
You know, I can just hit that little red X button that says leave. It just looks
You
so
don't want
good.
to do that.
Yeah,
You
I
don't wanna
do.
that. No, you don't. You want to be
Yes, I
around
do.
for this.
No, I
So,
don't.
I've got slides to put up. The worst thing in the world for Dustin to ever teach me is how to put pictures up on this thing.
Well,
Because-
thankfully, you'll have plenty of that to spread around and torture other people with it. You know what? It's late. I personally, and I think everybody can agree with me, I think it's time to wrap it up if nobody has any questions, and let's just stampede toward the finish line.
Oh, we are stampeding towards the finish line right now, but not before we do this. So what we are going to do,
I'm just going to keep interrupting you as you keep doing this.
That's fine. That's fine. We are going to have our very special guest, Burnett Beth, on, and Burnett Beth is going to talk with us about some Thanksgiving recipes that Bethany cooked for last year's Thanksgiving.
No, I didn't.
And is going to show you these, and hopefully you will prepare these for your upcoming Thanksgiving. So, Dustin, you ready for this?
You know, why don't you go make finger puppets and bore other people with this stuff?
It's not boring. All right. So,
yes, it is.
Those of you the first time on this channel, one of the things that sets the PPR channel apart is that we are the only paranormal channel that has sock puppets. All right. Zeke Freaky's been on, and last week you got introduced to Burnett Beth. So, without further ado, we are going to bring Burnett Beth on the show. You ready, Bethany? And then if I missed any questions, I will go back when we're done with this little part and answer those. So, Burnett Beth, are you ready to come on to the show? Here she is, folks. Hi. I have some Thanksgiving recipes for everyone, and I just love my hair. Oh, thank you. It's very expensive material, Burnett Beth. It's a Dollar General bag. Why, thank you. Now, Burnett Beth, I hear you have some pictures for us. Yes, I do. Now, from what I know, these are from last year's Thanksgiving when Bethany and I had our Thanksgiving on her farm, correct?
No. And I do have to say that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if people in chat didn't start leaving numbers of therapists. You know, I'm really beginning to think you're a little bit too much on your own, apparently.
Don't be mean to him. He is a very smart man. Thank you, Burnett Beth. So, Burnett Beth, what are we going to start off with here today? Well, you all know that I like salads. So my first recipe, this is a shrimp jello mold that we made last year, and it was very delicious. So
I did. Okay, I would never make something like this. And again, I love how it's being served on the floor of a barn.
well, that's your barn. That's where we
No,
ate Thanksgiving
I don't
last year, on
have
your
a farm. Like,
on your farm.
I don't have a farm.
So we started with the salad. Now, this salad is just a jello mold with cocktail shrimp. Is that correct, Burnett Beth? Yes. Now, Burnett Beth, is there anything we need to know about how to cook all of these things in these upcoming slides that you're going to show us. And this is pre-burnt, right? Yes. So when I cook everything on broil for 2 hours. 2 hours on broil. All right, you got that, people. So what do we have next, Bernadette? Well, this is not a picture, but this is something that I made, and it was a big hit. So this is cranberry mayonnaise balls. So this is like a cranberry cocktail with mayonnaise that Bethany made last year.
Again, I would never make this, and that just...
And that's
Man,
why
was this from the 50s?
And that's why we don't have any pictures, because everybody ate it. It was such a hit at Thanksgiving that we didn't get a picture of it on the barn floor. Now,
no, I would never make this, and it's evident this comes from the past, because there's no way in hell anybody that wasn't smoking a pack of cigarettes a day and drinking hard liquor would even be able to get that down.
Well, and y'all need to know, this isn't the only mayonnaise dish that Bethany made last year. We'll show you some other ones.
Any of these.
Now,
I don't have a farm.
What is next, Bernadette? Well, everybody knows that there has to be a Thanksgiving for turkey for Thanksgiving. So you're going to show us the Thanksgiving turkey. Is that correct, Bernadette? Yes. Now tell us, Bernadette, what do we have here? This is one of my favorite dishes to burn. I marinated that in Powerade for 7 days. So you marinated a turkey in Powerade. How did that turn out? Burnt. So Powerade marinated turkey. Y'all can see we had that last year. There's a photo of it on the barn floor.
Again, I didn't make this, but where did you find these photos? Like, why would anyone make this?
They were on my phone from last year's Thanksgiving.
I seriously want to know who in their right mind would think this is a good idea.
Well, you did, right?
No, I didn't. I would never.
Now, Bernadette, we know that kids are hard to please, right? Mm-hmm. And we also know that a lot of times kids don't like things that are made for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us last year what you did for the kids? Yes, I made a very special pizza for the kids. What was this pizza? Pull up the picture and I will tell you. What do we have here, Bernadette?
Oh my.
Is
that gravy?
Covered pizza. Yes, pizza and gravy. I made that. And you can see there, that is the plates that I served it on at our barn.
Again, not true. And if this were offered to the Donner Party, I think they still would have eaten each other.
So the kids really liked that, huh, Bernadette? Yes, they did. It was a big hit with all of the children. That's wonderful. Now, we all know that there are two things that Thanksgiving cannot be complete without. You have to have a dessert and you have to have party drinks. So, Bernadette, will you pull up for us and let us know about this next cake? Yes. Now, this cake is quite delicious. What I did is this is what is called a turkey cake. All of the layers are made of turkey. And it is icing with meringue. And then there is pumpkin pie filling on top of it.
I hate to break it to you, but that doesn't look like meringue or icing. That looks like mashed potatoes on the side.
No, I made meringue. I like meringue. So you served turkey cake. Yes. All righty then. Now, the last thing is the party drinks.
Zeke,
And
Zeke, can I
yes,
ask what is
yes.
wrong with you with the pictures and that creepy voice?
That's Bernadette Beth talking, not me. So the
Oh
last
my
thing
God.
from last year's Thanksgiving, all right, these party drinks were the hit of Thanksgiving. Now, we mentioned there was one more thing to show you with mayonnaise, and this is it. And we have the recipe. All of this other stuff is not very hard to make, especially when it's just going to be burnt anyway. It puts on broil and it all turns out the same color, the same texture. But this one, we have. Tell us what we have here, Bernadette Beth. These are tuna salad shots. Tuna salad shots. Yes. So what we have here is 1 ounce of fresh tuna juice, 1 ounce of mayonnaise, and black pepper on the rim. Is that
Okay, can
correct?
you seriously please get it off? Like, my mouth's watering here, and not in a
Yes.
good way. Just get it off,
It was
please.
good. And I made like 50 of these and they were all gone by the end of the party.
Okay, could you please get rid of the picture?
Now, could you describe the taste for us,
No,
Bernadette
please. Oh,
Beth?
come on, come on.
And I can't imagine that the whole barn, I mean, y'all should have smelled it. The whole barn
Mm.
was stinking of tuna and mayonnaise. And like, the tuna juice spills out and it drips onto the hay and kind of soaks in there and leaves this lingering tuna smell. So, but thank you very much, Bernadette Beth, for coming on and giving us Bethany's Thanksgiving recipe. So y'all do this for your family this Thanksgiving and you will create one that they will never forget. So make sure that y'all wrote this tuna salad shot down.
Yeah, I'm sure, and it'll also be helpful for the paramedics who will come to help you take you to the hospital to pump your stomachs.
So there you have it, everybody. Y'all give Bernadette Beth a big hand for coming on here and sharing with us her secret recipes for Thanksgiving. Now, this is quite a treat because these are secret recipes that have stayed in Bethany's family for years. And so now she's sharing it with the world. All right, so let's go through these one more time for everybody. For salad, or excuse me, for the appetizer, you have the cranberry mayonnaise balls. For salad, you have the shrimp inside a Jello mold. For the main course, you have the Powerade marinated turkey. And remember, you have to leave it marinating in the Powerade for 7 days so that it looks like a dyed Easter egg. For the kids, we have pizza and gravy. Make sure Domino's or somebody doesn't steal this recipe from you, Bethany. For dessert, we had the immaculate turkey cake. And then for party drinks, everybody's favorite, the tuna salad shot. Now, if you want to really, really make it fun, okay? Like I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. A lot of you know I'm a recovered addict, so I don't touch the stuff. But if you want to have some fun, spike these mayonnaise shots, all right? Because they're thick and it's the tuna juice and the mayonnaise. And then when people start puking this stuff up, the smell of the regurgitated tuna juice and mayonnaise mixed with the alcohol, your neighbors are going to smell that. And it's perfect for a barn where we were at last year, because everything kind of stinks in a barn. So you can spike those with vodka, tequila, gin, whatever your choice is. If you really want to have some fun with the tuna salad shots, you can play a game too. See how many tuna salad shots somebody can do without puking. How many do you think you could do, Bethany? She's not commenting. She's probably puking right now. Okay, let's take this to chat. All right, people in chat, how many tuna mayonnaise, tuna salad shots do you think you could do before you puked or got sick? How many could you do? I'm waiting for Dustin to chime in on this. Triple X lady, the tuna salad thing smells like a dead ocean, like a dead marine life. Dead marine life.
One day I'm actually going to cook these recipes and make you eat them. I mean, keep this up. I can't wait to see what other stuff you have in store for the others. I'm not the only one you're going to...
What do you mean one day? You made this all last year. Those pictures from your barn.
Don't have a barn. I do not have a farm.
Yes, you do. She's an Ohio farm girl.
I am not a farmer.
Oh, really, Bethany?
Yes.
Tell us about the land that you live on.
What about it?
Thank you. That's all you had to say. See, here's the thing, people. As much as I like to joke and BS, I am correct about some things. And one of those things is that she does live on a farm.
Technically, yes. All right, I do. But I don't have any animals.
Who is right?
I don't have a barn.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I do. But it doesn't look like that, and we didn't do that last year.
See, she admitted. You heard it, folks. Zeke is not lying this time. She has a barn. She has a farm. Those pictures were from last year's Thanksgiving.
No, they weren't. As God is my witness, those were not from last year.
Yeah, a Triple X lady says she has a barn too. Yeah, it's
well,
nothing.
Maybe they're from Triple X lady's house.
No, nothing against barns. Like I love animals and everything. It's just an issue because Bethany tries to deny it. She tries to deny it. Dustin says she stares at goats. Men who stare at goats. So,
isn't it about time to make another sock puppet for somebody else? Vickie, yes. Dustin, Tanya, and torture them.
Yeah, Dustin's got his wiggly giggly banana one he's making. And then we're making ones for yobaby and Vickie. So everybody will have a sock puppet. Me, you, Dustin, Tanya, and Vickie.
Good. Go torture them with it.
Oh, look. Triple X lady said she'll buy one Burn It Beth recipe book. You got fans already.
But I didn't cook this stuff. I would never do that. I don't think there's anybody on this earth I would hate that much to serve that to.
Oh, let me just tell you what Dustin said. You're going to hate him for this. He said, Zeke, get a box and call it Burn It Beth Cafe and use it. So I'll get a little shoebox. We'll have another arts and craft day. And we'll have Burn It Beth's Cafe of stuff you will regurgitate 2 seconds after it being in your mouth.
You just make this stuff up. I would never make something like that.
These are real pictures, folks.
Yeah, actually they are actual.
Pull them up again.
Yeah, I know for a fact those cranberry mayonnaise molds somebody, I think it was in the 80s, had turned them into candles. So just imagine that beauty on fire and stinking up your dining room table at the holidays.
Yeah. Now, this one was not taken in the barn.
What is that? Seriously, for real.
That
What
is
is
a
that?
turkey cake.
Like, seriously, that's a turkey cake.
Yeah.
What did they
So
do?
seriously, what it looks like is it does look like it's sweet potatoes on top.
Yeah, and that looks like mashed potatoes on the side
So
and is filling. So, did they grind up the turkey?
it looks like it. It looks like ground turkey, sweet potato, and mashed potato. So basically, what you have here is all of your Thanksgiving dishes wrapped up into one. In a way, it's like a Thanksgiving burrito, but in cake form.
You know, there are a dozen other things to do with your leftovers that's not, that. They couldn't make a shepherd's pie or a pot pie. They made that.
Yep. Yeah. Triple X lady says she thought it was a carrot cake. It does look like a carrot cake, and
It's not.
that's
Look,
how we got tricked into eating it.
I would
Bethany
never
said she made
make
a carrot
something
cake.
like that.
She was like, "Hi, I made a carrot cake for y'all." Or she doesn't say y'all. She's a Yankee. I made a carrot cake for you guys. And we cut into that thing and took one.
I would never make that. And the pizza, you know this, my little ones don't like pizza.
Yeah, but it was all the other kids there ate it.
I can't imagine any of the kids. They wouldn't eat that.
Pizza and gravy. Now that there, Dustin, that is something we will have in the Winnebago. All right, now, this is what we need to do. I thought
Was
of this
that
too.
a pregnancy craving or something? I mean,
what we need to do next year, Dustin, is we need to get Bethany to make all those same dishes, and then we are going to eat them in the PPR Ectobago. We're going to have our Thanksgiving party there.
actually, I'm going to be honest. That thing would make you and Dustin look like you both can't afford to rub two nickels together, and that at best you would have a spam turkey.
Now, imagine with me, if you will. There we are with this beautiful piece of vehicular craftsmanship. We're sitting around inside. It's got shag carpet, probably cigarette burns all over it. And Bethany serves us the shrimp jello mold. She pulls the burnt Powerade marinated turkey.
I want to know seriously, who in their right mind thought that was a good idea?
Are you talking about the Winnebago or your Thanksgiving recipe?
You know what? All of it. Like, who in their right mind thought any of this was a good idea?
Haha, Dustin, I see what you said in chat. I cannot say that live. But Dustin's favorite line, for those of you who are reading the ones about the comment about pigs and chicken, by far out of everything that I've written, that line is from Sam's Diner. That is that out of all the stuff Dustin's read that I've written, like that is his favorite line. That's out of this one right here. Sam's Diner. Still 50 cents on Godless. That one's the extreme horror tale. Very, very intense and bloody and graphic. Well, you have any more Thanksgiving recipes for us, Bethany?
Again, I didn't make any of that. Although, a little helpful tip for anybody who is into having turkey leftovers day after Thanksgiving. If you're going to reheat any leftover turkey, whatever you don't eat, do not put it back in the refrigerator, throw it out. It's actually poultry reheated can be pretty dangerous for food poisoning.
You know what? I need to go back through my phone here for a second before we end the show. And I don't have the pictures up here for me to pull up on the screen, but I think I still have them in my phone.
Of what?
Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. You know, there is a reason that she has gotten the name Burn It Beth. I don't think it's in my phone.
If you're talking about that one grill, that was not my fault. There was a hole in it.
I don't think I have it on my phone, but I will find it.
I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about that chimney?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Bethany blew up a grill. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. All right. Look at this, everybody. Can y'all see it? This is before Bethany used it. See how nice and shiny and pretty it is? This is after Bethany used it.
All right, in my defense, okay, I didn't think it was going to get that hot. Okay, just everybody back off. It can happen to anybody, all right? Like, you know what? 3-foot flames on a grill are not that bad, all right? Just stop just making it a big deal. It's not.
Well, see, like, here's the thing. They think I just pull this stuff out of my butt and make it up. This is based in reality. Based in reality.
And I want to thank you so much for encouraging my oldest to go screaming through the house that I'm going to burn the house down.
Mom's going to burn the house down.
Yeah, that was not funny then. It's still not that funny.
Yes, it is. It's hilarious.
No, it's not. I
It's
didn't
so-
burn anything to the ground. We're all still here. The house still stands.
And the barn we ate Thanksgiving in last year.
We
get
did
burned down.
not eat in a barn.
Yes, we did. Hey, Jennifer, welcome to the chat. Glad you're in here. We're catching the end of the show. You'll have to go back and watch it. It's we had a lot of different things going on tonight. Some singing, some teaching out of Revelation 4, some sock puppets, and some Thanksgiving recipes that you definitely want to try this Thanksgiving for your family. You will create for them a Thanksgiving to remember. And that's what it's about, right? Isn't the holidays about creating memories and new traditions?
I suppose, but I really don't think your listeners are going to want to spend their Thanksgiving praising the porcelain god.
Now, I don't know. I still think that this is the greatest one.
Okay, stop
here.
and get it off. God.
Tuna salad shot. All right, Jennifer, if you're going to make anything this Thanksgiving to try something new, Bethany's recommendation is the tuna salad shot.
It is not my recommendation. I can't even look at that. Come on.
1 ounce of fresh tuna juice, 1 ounce
Okay,
of mayonnaise,
stop.
and black pepper around the rim. And if you want to make it really interesting, spike it and then have everybody do a drinking contest and see who pukes up tuna juice
Okay,
and
all
mayonnaise.
right, stop. Man, that's as bad as no, it makes me think of the one time my uncle told me about after he had left the Navy, like he was on a 3-day pass and he and his buddies went to a bar and they all dared each other to drink the the oil out of those like little, where they keep the little mini sausages at the bar.
Yes, Dustin, why don't you put in chat what those mini sausages are called?
Yeah, and they
your
they come
favorite
in those
line?
big bins. Well, they all drank as much of it as they could to see who would throw up first, and that's what that makes me think of.
Oh, well, okay. Now,
Oh,
explain
okay,
that
okay,
again.
all right, just stop. I'm getting sick.
It was the oil from what?
Oh, those sausages at a bar, those little cocktail sausages,
Yep.
those,
So,
and those
cocktail
big.
sausage shots.
Oh god. Okay, yeah.
1 ounce
Okay,
of
stop. Come on, my mouth's already watering, and not in a good way.
sausage grease from the bar. What else are we
Okay,
going to put in this thing?
just stop. Come on.
1 ounce of syrup
Mm.
and cinnamon around the rim.
You ought to say Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
Cheese has the same smell as vomit.
Well, thank you. You would know. Parmesan cheese. There you go.
Mhm.
No, Dustin, come on, not Vienna sausages. You know what they're called. You just said it
They're
all
not
wrong.
a Vienna sausage. No, I'm talking about. If anybody in chat knows what I'm talking about, I'm talking about those big glass barrel jars, and they have them at bars, and they're those little cocktail sausages.
Yeah, I was just giving Dustin another chance to say his favorite line. So now this cocktail juice from those little cocktail wieners. Now, is it better lukewarm, hot?
Okay.
Or cold?
Oh God. All right. Stop. Come on.
I think my vote is lukewarm.
God. Come on.
Lukewarm.
And
There
I'll
you
at
go.
least be kind to the listeners, and I'll at least mute before I actually gag.
Now we could replace, or if you're doing those tuna shots, you could replace the tuna juice with that Bethany's recommending, or you can leave it. She muted herself. She's probably gagging. Oh,
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
win for Zeke. I got it. I finally got it. So it's been a while, but this was a kind of a contest that I used to do with myself to see how long it would take for me to get Bethany to gag and throw up. It's been a while since I've played that game with myself, so I'm glad I got to do it again.
No, and I would never do that to any of the listeners so they could hear me get sick on.
Oh, we can hear it in your voice. Now, those that sausage oil from the bar, you like swish it around in your mouth and gargle it before you shoot it down? You try to like sing the ABCs gargling it? Bethany?
This is not funny at all.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes.
Look, I'm seriously trying not to throw up. Can we please change the subject?
No.
You're mean.
Everybody wants to hear you throw up. They want to see me succeed. Who wants to see me succeed?
No, you don't. Come on. You're going to get the channel blocked. Come on. No.
No, I wouldn't get the channel blocked. I don't even have a strike yet.
You would get a strike. It's going to make people sick. I'm not going to do that to other people.
No. All right.
Ugh. Okay.
You coming down? You all right?
Yeah, no, seriously, I did almost throw up. I'm like, there were chunks starting to come out.
Dustin, I know you're proud of me. I know. I did this for us, buddy. Well, y'all, we will go ahead and wrap things up for tonight. Thank everybody for coming and hanging out with us tonight and doing some study in the book of Revelation, hearing Emma sing, and staying on afterwards to talk about Bethany's Thanksgiving recipe she made us last year in her barn.
No, I didn't.
Oh, Dustin said that what we could do with the those juice from the wieners, the shots.
No. All right, stop.
Mix it with pig jizz, sugar, cream cheese.
Okay, seriously, stop.
So great show. I had fun. I hope everybody else had fun. Y'all got singing, teaching, Thanksgiving recipes, and more sock puppets. What more can you ask for on a Thursday night? All right, this is quality programming right here. Eat your heart out, PBS. We are very educational. So be sure to like this video, comment, share it out. If you haven't subscribed to our channel or the yobaby channel, please do that. And click the notifications. Tomorrow during the day, Dustin is going to be going live. And then Saturday, we will have our special guest, Elite Vixen Paranormal, to talk about their upcoming fundraiser at the Thomas House. So we hope to see you all there. Bethany, do you have any last minute things or recipes you want to share?
I didn't make any of that.
So I guess that's a no.
That's a no, other than don't reheat turkey and then put it, whatever you reheat, don't eat it or put it back.
Yeah.
After it cools, throw it out.
And try these recipes out, and we will be coming back again with some more recipes around Christmas time to give you some great things to make for your holiday get together at Christmas. I will be giving you recipes and pictures from our Christmas together last year and the stuff that Bethany made, and Bernadette Beth will be here to give commentary on it. What do you think about that, Boo Bear?
No.
Yes. So anyway, we've got great stuff coming up, great stuff planned for y'all. I will be back live spearheading this on Tuesday nights. Not sure what I'm going to do yet for the show, but like I told you, I'm leaning towards getting a list together of some of my favorite Christmas horror movies that you can start watching, getting ready for the Christmas season. But other than that, thank you all for coming by and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for being up here with me, Bethany. I love you deeply. I have fun. We have fun, y'all. It's just not all serious. We love to joke and laugh. So thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. I am going to play our inspirational video like we do at the end of the show every week. And we hope to see everybody back tomorrow or Saturday. God bless. Y'all have a good night, everyone.
Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know. Tell me, have I lost my mind? Nowhere to go, so far from home. Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know.